So here's the Washington Week PBS. This is their YouTube channel. Again, go subscribe to them. Like this. When this goes up on YouTube, you will see the link in the description of the video to this video. By all means, watch the original. I'm not taking anybody's content, but I do want to watch it and I do want to react to it. This is Who Will Voters Blame for the Government Shutdown? Posted by the Washington Week PBS. I'm curious to see who the voters will blame, because I'm blaming the Democratic Party, specifically Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. We'll see. I don't know. I think, honestly, it's the fact that the Democrats march in lockstep and there's, like, no diversity of opinion over there. I don't know. We'll see.
At least is this. Does the American air traffic control system still work? And if it isn't working, who's to blame? We'll talk about the government shutdown, now the longest in history, and we'll talk about some other bad signs for the president's political standing tonight with Leanne Caldwell, the chief Washington correspondent at Puck. David Ignatius is a foreign affairs columnist at the Washington Post. Mark Leibovich is a staff writer at the Atlantic.
He's an elf. Look at that ear. I'm just saying, he's half elf.
And Jeff Zeleny is the chief national affairs correspondent for CNN. Chief. Be careful the way you address him. Thank you all for being here. Leanne, let me start with you. So America, our country, is the world's sole remaining superpower. It can project force into any corner of the world. It has the world's largest economy, but we can't seem to get people to work in the...
Oh, you dirty bitch. Work the shaft.
...the air traffic control system, so the flights are being canceled left and right. I guess this is because the government doesn't work. But what I need to know from you is who to blame. Who do we blame?
Well, that's a good question. If you ask the Democrats, it's the Republicans' fault.
I'm asking you.
If you ask the Republicans, it's the Democrats' fault. So
politics.
I'm not going to put any blame, except for all of them are to blame, because the Democrats are absolutely right. Republicans control the three branches of government. They need...
We already covered this. They need 60 votes in the Senate to pass this. All the Republicans can vote yes, which they have done 14 separate times at this point. All the Republicans can vote yes, and it won't be enough. They have to have some Democrats because they have to get to 60. Republicans don't have 60 seats in the Senate. They've only got like 52.
At least 7 Democrats in order to get votes to fund the government, but the Republicans have not, until now, negotiated with Democrats to find those votes. The Democrats are bringing in a completely unrelated issue, this issue of health care, because they have no leverage at any other time in this government, because they have a president who will only work with Republicans.
I mean, she just admitted it right there, right? The Democrats are using the shutdown as leverage. I mean, we all on the same page here. I'm just saying.
And so they are using this to try to make a point and to get Republicans to the table to negotiate on an issue that is important to them, and that's this Affordable Care Act subsidies. So now we're 38 days into a government shutdown. It is really starting to hit the American public. People are starting to feel it. And, you know, probably most impactfully are the people who can't afford food, who are on food stamps, the SNAP program, and the administration tonight is trying to appeal a court order to pay those benefits out.
Now, that doesn't make the government look so great.
No.
It doesn't make the Trump administration.
Yeah, no, the optics are terrible, but also there isn't enough money to fund this program. It's up to Congress to figure out what to do. The executive branch can only enforce the laws that Congress passes. They can only do what I don't know how to put this. The legislative branch makes the rules, and the executive branch enforces them and decides how to enforce them, right? That's how that works. And then the judicial branch just makes sure everyone is like working within the confines of the laws that were set by Congress. Think of it like a job. Like a job site would be, the legislative branch is the company that or is the engineer. The executive branch is the superintendent, or like maybe the project manager. And then the judicial branch is safety, right? Like that's how it works.
Sure, looks so great, Jeff. I mean, who is? Forget the reality of it from an optics perspective. Who is in the most danger here? Who's in the most political danger? The SNAP issue seems more.
Optics are terrible for the Trump administration right now because it's real easy for the Democrats to go, they're starving Americans. They control all three branches of government, and they are not going to fund your SNAP. The Trump administration is arguing to not fund SNAP. And sadly, most people are not going to look into this. They're not going to look farther into it to figure out what's really going on. They're just going to see that, which is true but misleading. They're just going to see that and they're going to run with it, right? And that's what's happening.
Dire for obvious reasons in the air traffic control system, although that is a sign of dysfunction.
I mean, particularly going into, we're 3 weeks before Thanksgiving. We're kind of like focused on right as we're going into the holidays, and the idea that the administration has chosen to not find money to fund the food assistance program for some 42 million Americans.
It's not up to them to do that. It's up to Congress to do that. The Trump administration can only use the funds they're given for each program. They can't pull from funds and fund another thing. That's not up for them to decide.
8 Americans, but they have found money for military payments and ICE officers.
The military payments and ICE officers and stuff like that, like, because they were short. So here's what happened. The federal government was going to be short on funding for military personnel active duty. So because of that, Trump was contacted by one of his billionaire friends and said, "Hey, whatever the deficit is, whatever you have, whatever you need, let me know and I will cover it." And then he gave him $160 million or something to help fund the remainder of the military budget, right? So the Trump administration found money, but it was from a private donor, not from another budget that was given to them by Congress. That's the difference here.
And others. That's a choice. It's a choice by the administration, but it is
It's not a choice. It was a private donor, not money pulled from a different budget.
beginning to catch up with the administration and Republicans. You heard
As far as I know, there haven't been any private donors to help fund the SNAP program.
the president say it himself this week when he blamed the election fallout on the shutdown. And he had a previously scheduled lunch with Republicans on Wednesday morning, the morning after the election, and he was very angry.
I want to say, though, during those elections, I do want to point out, yes, Republicans lost in Virginia, they lost in New Jersey, they lost in, the three big ones were the Attorney General in Virginia. Jay Jones ended up winning that, even though he directly said that he wanted to kill Republican children, specifically his Republican opponent's children. He directly said that if Hitler and Pol Pot were in a room with a Republican and he had 2 bullets and he could kill 2 of them, he would put 2 bullets in the Republican, right? That seems like a pro-Hitler stance to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too much about that. But anyway, so the 3 big ones were the Attorney General in Virginia, the governor of, what was it? New Jersey, and the mayor of New York. There was also mayor of Minneapolis, Omar something, I think, but he didn't win. So the 3 big ones were New York, New Jersey, and Virginia, right? The Republicans lost all of those. However, these are considered Democrat stronghold states. The Democrats were expected to win in huge numbers, in huge margins. The Democrats were always going to win the mayorship in New York City. They were always going to win the governorship of New Jersey. And they were always going to win the Attorney General seat in Virginia, because these are deep blue Democrat states. The very fact that they were as contested as they were, I think, is more of a referendum on the Democrats than the Republicans, because these were previously deep blue Democrats' positions, and they were extremely contested in the year 2025. I am very hopeful about the 2026 elections because of how contested these deep blue spots were. I think by this time next year, it's possible that those 3 areas flip red, even just marginally, right? Like, I do think that the next elections in those 3 areas, the Republicans will win. Even if it's just like by a small amount, I think they will eventually win. Because the Democrat approval numbers are in like the single digits right now, man. It's bad.
And he's angry about the shutdown, but he's not really doing anything to sort of bring it to an end. But look, I think this week felt...
It's not up to him to do that. He's not a king. He can't do anything about it. It's a congressional problem. It is a legislative branch issue. The executive branch can't do anything about this. Flat out.
To me, like a turning point. Who knows how long it will go, but the president was angry.
The only way he could is if he maybe declared martial law. And even then, I'm not really sure. I'm not super versed on that, so I don't know if something like that would give him control to be able to do something. But those optics would be even worse. So he's not going to want to do that, right? And I bet you the Democrats would love for him to do it.
Angry today, talking about how Americans just aren't seeing all what he's doing. I brought down costs. He hasn't. And that's what he promised to do 1 year ago. So to me, at least, this week seemed somewhat different. We'll see if it...
Nothing Trump has done thus far in his presidency will show up in the American economy for maybe a year. So everything that's happening right now is happening based on the policies that were put in place by the Biden administration in maybe 2023 and 2024. The American economy will catch up to the new Trump policies in a year or so. So he's taking the heat for the latter part of the Biden shit, but in the next couple of years, the economy will be reshaped by the new policies, and we'll really see what the Trump administration has been doing, right? So this is a whole lot of bullshit also, but you have to keep in mind that they're not here to speak on facts or be impartial in any way. They just want to make Trump look bad. So they're going to use whatever they can to do it. And like I said, the optics right now are
sort
bad.
of brings it into the shutdown. The Senate is staying in this weekend, which is something they've not done for any of the other, 5 weekends, 4 or 5 weekends. So I think by next week,
but you want to pace
there'll be
yourself.
movement. Sure. Yeah. Tough work.
I just realized that the way you phrased it, we're right now in the season of people in large numbers flying home to eat vast quantities of food. And it's interesting that the SNAP is directly affecting people's ability to eat and
fly home.
And to fly home. I mean, that.
Yeah, if you provide for your own security, you don't have to worry about any of this.
Doesn't make the people
independence is goated, man. I'm just saying.
People in charge look very good. I mean, Mark, do you expect them to actually come to?
You know who doesn't care about SNAP benefits not being funded? The Amish.
Come to a conclusion soon on this now that the president seems to be seized by the idea that...
Also, you can plant food in the ground. You can literally grow food in your yard. You can literally grow food. Food grows on trees. Money does not. Food grows on trees.
That this is not good for him?
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, Democrats seem to be much more dug in than they were before Tuesday. I mean, I think they seem emboldened by Tuesday's elections, which Democrats did very well in. Also, I mean, Trump might be angry and frustrated, and he might be telling Republicans this, but it's not like he's coming to this...
Dude, I swear to God, this guy's like he's an elf, man. I don't know what kind yet, but he's definitely partial elf. What is this ear, dude? Oh man, I found a kindred spirit. Cause like I don't know if you guys notice, but my avatar is in fact, look at my ears. It is in fact an elf. So I have found my kin. I've got more hair and I'm not as shiny, but I have found him. He is an elder.
From a place of humility, maybe we should back off on A, B, or C. He's doubling down. He's saying, no, let's kill the filibuster, which is a complete non-starter.
I agree. I don't think that we should kill the filibuster. But I can see why. Because, like, here's the thing. When Democrats are in charge, they argue to get rid of the filibuster. And the Republicans say no because they're the minority, right? The filibuster is there to make sure that a majority doesn't immediately just take control of everything, right? You have to have a super majority in order to be able to do that. The filibuster is there to protect the minority and their interests. So getting rid of the filibuster would effectively make Trump a king. It would effectively make this a one-party system where the Republicans are just going to run with it, right? And as much as I'm cool with that, I don't think it's a good thing as a whole, and I don't think that it would be good for America as a country. I do think that we need to keep the filibuster because it keeps us from being a fully democratic nation where it's 50+1, right? Like that's not something that's good. I think that we do need to keep it 60, but yeah, I don't know why Trump would say this, but that's just how it is. I mean, this is the way that it is in every administration, right? During the Biden administration, the Democrats argued that they should get rid of the filibuster so that they wouldn't have to worry about these Republicans fucking stopping them anymore. And now that the Republicans are in control, they're arguing to get rid of the filibuster so they don't have to worry about these Democrats getting in trouble anymore. It's a thing that happens every year. I don't think it's ever actually going to happen, and if it does, oh boy.
So it seems like wasted energy at this point, and also something that's counterproductive within the Republican Party.
David, you've watched Washington for quite a while.
There is no wasted energy, okay? That glorious golden bastard has energy in spades, all right? There are too many people saying that he only sleeps like 2 hours a day. I'm just saying.
There probably been other periods of
He's jacked on that McDonald's, bro, and in the Diet Coke.
Kind of dumb dysfunction. This one has to rank pretty high.
So this is the breakdown of our government. This shutdown stretching toward 2 months, heading.
It's not really a breakdown. It's actually really more of a, I don't know how to put this. It's not a breakdown. It's just that it's not it's shut down right now. They're not doing it.
Toward Thanksgiving, whenever.
Nothing's breaking down. It's just not funded. So all the fat's getting, taken out.
Everybody wants to fly home. Our air traffic system is having to slow down. You want to say is on the verge of beginning to break. And I worry that the Democrats' effort, as Leanne said, to try to make a point. The point that they're trying to make is through causing pain for the people by holding fast and showing that Trump is refusing to make concessions on health care. I just worry that strategy is about to crack up. If the Democrats could take the win that they had this week,
Again, it's not really that much of a win, but they did win in a lot of elections, yeah.
This is a
the
week
literal
when
win.
Democrats just rolled in the Tuesday elections. And this is a moment when they, as a party that's confident, I think, could find a path towards a compromise that would make them look good and make the country feel like...
Right, where they simply come out and say, we want everybody to eat and fly around.
But they're the party that's going to solve this problem. I can easily see, as I say, a way to take a win, and they don't seem to want to do that.
Right. The main...
Yeah, well, again, the reason that they won in a lot of these areas is because the Democrats that were running in those elections are super far left. Like, they're calling for the death of people, right? Like, Mamdani, when he won the mayor's race in New York City, he's a socialist. He's an Islamic socialist, right? He's an immigrant to this country. He's a Muslim. He was supported by ISIS, who called that election a jihadist movement, openly after he won. And he's supported by the Democratic Socialists of America, because that's just a thing now. Dude, the Democrats won in these elections because they got so much more extreme. And that extremism is going to drive people away from their party. flat out. They had to get ridiculously extreme, and they barely won those elections that are in deep blue areas. And I agree with that one guy. I do think that it's eventually going to crack up. I do think that it's eventually going to mess with them, right? Like, that's just how it is. Anyway, subscribe to me on X at @real_Sestel. Follow me on YouTube and Rumble, depending on whether or not you like either of those. I'm everywhere that videos are made. And I will catch you guys next week. I